Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Unleash Her. I'm Roberta Campbell, your host for this podcast, and I'm so glad that you're here. And this is where we empower women to heal from within and embrace their authenticity while creating extraordinary lives. Because, who wants to be ordinary? So today, I have a very special guest for you. And she's a new friend of mine. And I'm so excited. I'm going to get to know her at the same time here. This is my beautiful friend, Marianne Schutz. Hi, Marianne.
Hello, Roberta. Nice to see you.
You too. Thank you so much for coming on today. I'm excited to get to know you a little bit better and everyone else too. So tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I'll do that. Well, I'm a mother of two. I live in Denmark. I recently moved back. I have been living abroad for 5 years. I wanted to experience the lifestyle of, being a digital nomad. So I kind of have been on that journey for the last 5 years and only came back to be closer to my kids. I'm all about working with women, helping them to level up and this has always been a passion of mine, just to see how I can empower the women. So I love everything about what you do, and I'm very excited to see how I can contribute to the listeners that you have and help them as well on that journey.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. So we just found out how we knew each other too, right before the
Yeah.
call, right before this. So we both studied under Bob Proctor,
Mhm.
and he changed my life. His program changed my life. How
Yeah.
did you get introduced to him?
It was actually through some of his Danish consultants that I saw them on Facebook, and they kind of provoked me in some way, with some of the statements. And I was like, I guess there's something I need to look into because I'm not that easy to provoke. So I started just doing some of the minor courses. And then in the end, I decided I'll sign up for Thinking into Results because in many ways it was very different from how I was living my life. The mindset of working more, working harder will help you eventually achieve your goals. So I was like, thinking into results. I need to know about that.
Right? It sounds very intriguing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what were you doing before?
I have been working 15 years as a leader in corporate industries in advertising agency and in payroll and HR. Yeah, until I decided
Wow.
to become self-employed.
Okay. So how did this change you? How did and what changed and how did this affect you?
The program, I mean, it changed everything. So I know what you say about. I have always been into personal development, I would say, and I have been
Yeah.
interested in mindset and how you think, your inner dialogue, but I didn't really have the tools to kind of understand it and change it. I would say maybe I wanted to just learn about myself, but I never really knew how much I was able to change because in corporate, they put you in different boxes. And I had a lot of employees, and it was all about I have five of this type and five of that type. And it just, you know, kept people how they actually were. And I'm more like the development. So I was happy to experience that. Yes, this is maybe who I am right now, but it's not who I need to, remain. So I love the topic about changing your thinking to change your life. And I just immediately embraced it and applied it. And I found it really interesting and life
Ooh,
changing.
right? So did
Yeah.
you start seeing things right away? Did you have to like work through, some of us have some, okay, Bob talked a lot about paradigms.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I believe that awareness is number one. We have to be
Mhm.
aware and just look. And I don't know about you, but I wasn't real aware until I started studying with him.
No, I was not at all. To the extent that I'm even today and rereading the same books, I'm like, I didn't really learn a lot from them back then. I mean, I read them, but that's, about it. So now, since I've changed my perception about myself and I'm more aware of my thinking and I can relate in a very different way. So I would say in the beginning, I just read it. I just stacked up more information like I have been doing my whole life. But there was something telling me that no, this, you need to take this seriously. You need to start applying it in some way. You need to do something with this information. And that's what I did.
Oh my gosh, that is so crazy that you just said that because I just pulled out Psycho-Cybernetics.
Love it.
And I remember it's been a few years since I read it, and I thought I remembered everything in it. And did I fill out the questionnaire at the end of each chapter? I did the first chapter years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, okay. You have to do the work,
Yeah.
right? We're like handed all of this stuff. Here it is. And then you're like, oh, I think that for me, it was just, it's been different stages in my life and we keep evolving. Do you feel like that? You keep growing and evolving. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
have you, have you always been a confident person?
I would say that I've had a lot of self-confidence, but not a lot of self-worth. But because I had a lot of self-confidence, I never really dived too much into the lack of self-worth. It was only later I realized that I still need to figure out how to level up, if you can say, on that part and work with that. So on the outside, everything always looked like, I'm in control of everything, but I was not.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you do? Do you meditate? Do you take time, journal?
Yeah, I journal. I study every day. I
Yeah.
would say I read material from, Bob Proctor or Napoleon Hill. I study The Power of Awareness, Neville Goddard, some of these. I need to just every day tune into this information to create a bigger belief, to have, more faith that, whatever I want, I can achieve it. I just need to keep repeat it. And I think that has been the biggest thing for me, to just really fully being a student, that I know that every day I need to like brainwash myself with the belief that I want to have, and not be a sponge to just society and, regular talk, because it's not going to bring me no new results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bob was so good. Like Bob studied his entire
Yeah.
life. And and again, reading the same books over and over and over.
Yeah.
And I was actually in his program when he passed.
Oh,
You must have been there before that.
yeah. I was,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh gosh. Did you watch The Secret? Have you watched that?
Yeah, I did. I did that way before I actually studied the program. So back then I was like, what is this? It was so far away from how I was brought up. It's
Oh,
just hard work, pays off. That's it. Nothing
right.
else. Yeah.
But you watch that and you're like, oh,
Yeah, I loved it. I was like the only person in my circle, that has this idea that there's more to life than just regular work. And I always felt just compelled to do something for other people. And even to this day, my kids are grown up, they keep asking me, like, why is it that you always have to do something for other people, like mainly ladies? I said, I don't know, I just have to. So I felt that there was something, dragging me to watch this movie back then. I need to understand a bigger potential and bigger impact that I can create.
yeah. And how did it change like your family and everyone around you?
I would say that the biggest, it was not a fight in any way, but I had a partnership with my dad for 8 years. We had a common company, and I decided to leave it to fulfill my own dreams, because I knew that I was destined for something else where I could bring more value, I would say, beside just monetary value. There was just some lack of fulfillment. So I guess they always have seen me like, the crazy one. Because I always chose what, no other people choose. I have
Adventurous.
always went my own way. So I think they just always accepted that, because it was never possible to just convince me to do the traditional way. It was not me.
You think that's just part of who you are, or you
Yeah.
have siblings as well? Are
Yeah, I
they?
do have. Yeah, and they are not like me at all. and they enjoy. I have two younger brothers. They always like, but you're just so strange. Like you're just so not normal. That's how they express it. And I'm like,
Oh,
maybe, I'm not in your opinion, but what is normal anyway? I just want to be happy and fulfill my goals and dreams. And you can do it your way. I'll do it my way.
well, it's being authentic.
Yeah.
And we should be different.
Yeah.
We can be whoever we want to be. I don't know. I see now I was the chameleon
Hmm.
that just wanted to fit in. I had very low self-confidence, and so I would just kind of like follow the crowd and it's like, okay, I mean, I didn't really have strong feelings about let's do this or do that and even music, I would listen to what everybody else was listening to.
Mm. Yeah.
But now it's like, wait a minute. Because that's the biggest question is just what would you love?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so for me, like with you, like where your journey and what would you love? Have you really do you know the answers to those? Because mine keeps changing.
Yeah, it does change from
Okay.
time to time. You meet new people who inspire you to do new things, or they see
Yeah.
something in you that you haven't really seen yet. So I love just connecting really with whoever I meet. I always know there's a reason why I meet them. So, lately, like I met a lady who's helping other people to write their books. And I was like, I know there's no coincidence why I meet this lady. So, there's always something that I need to learn. And she sees something in me, and I'm like, okay. People asking me, hey, you should create a podcast. I'm like, no, 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 I'm not. But, so I think I'm just always open for feedback, and I take it and I run with it, even when I don't feel ready, because we never really feel ready. We always, I would say, behind in our self-awareness of how much we have grown. So other people may see a version that we have not yet acknowledged that we actually do live right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Two like that's just two things. First of all, um, have you written a book? Are you writing a book?
No, I just secretly.
Okay, okay. So this person that you meet,
Yeah.
you're like, interesting. Why'd you come into my life?
Yeah. She even gave me a book about, rehabiting your writings habits. And yeah, it's just, yeah.
Ooh. Okay, now you might have to think about the podcast thing because if people are telling you, because that's what people were doing to me. And I'm like,
Hmm.
no, I am not doing that. Here I am.
Yeah. I thought about it just yesterday. I was like, I guess it is at least for 5 years, I've had people kind of begging, suggesting, why are you not doing it? You're just really so great at communicating and interviewing people, make people feel good. And I'm like, I just need to do this and that. And later, so I don't know.
You never know.
No.
But the thing is, because I was like, sounds really hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, sounds like a lot of work. I don't think I can do that, especially with the technology and everything. But you know what? Like you said, you have to go and jump in when you're not ready.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And as this journey, this has just been the past, I don't know, few months. I'm like, wait, I don't have to do it this way because really we can do it any way we want. I tell people, I go, there are no rules. Well, okay, there are some rules, right? Make them up. Do what you want. I love that. I
Yeah. I'm
never
all about breaking rules, not the laws, rules that can be broken.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So you are a mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mentor women mostly. I have a few men that I work with that have sneaked in. I don't know how I allowed it. But they came in recommended by somebody else, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll do it. But I have a passion for women. It's just in my
Yeah.
heart. It's I cannot explain it. I just have to do it. I want to do it.
Same here.
Yeah.
That's where I'm just like, okay. And my story, I know that what I've been through can inspire others too. And gosh, I was just journaling last night, writing all the things like I didn't think I was worthy. I didn't think I was smart growing up and all these things. I'm like, oh, I'm an author. I'm a best-selling author. Who would have thought? Like, we don't know what
No,
we're capable of, do we?
that's so true.
Do you
Before we
keep,
start doing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just remember in the secret too, they're like, just take the next step.
Hmm.
Just take the next step.
Yeah.
So your children are grown.
Yeah. They are 17 and 19 years old. So they're kind
Aw,
of grown up.
mine are mine are older than that.
Okay.
And yes, yep, 27 and 25.
Okay. You still look amazing.
Oh, thank you. I'll tell you what, a few years ago, it was rough. I went through a rough time,
Yeah.
as we do. And I think that's why too it's so important for us to share our story and our voice. And I'm so glad that you're here. And this is just I just want to know like what what do you do? What do you do for fun?
What I
Or
do
do
for
you just do you probably are like me and just love this so much and you love reading and learning and it's like we have to get out and have some fun. Not that that's not fun, but
Yeah, I would say that I've set myself some big goals, so I have really been working a lot and I'm still working a lot and I love what I do. I don't really see it
Mhm.
as work because for me it makes so much sense, but I know it still is work. It's not, not work. But when I have just fun, what I want is to go out and dance. I love that with my girlfriends a lot. I love to travel, the best of the best. Combining that, it's the best. Having a nice cocktail, traveling, going out dancing, that's
Okay, we're like new best
number one.
friends. I'm gonna come visit you.
Yeah, I'm traveling to Mexico in June and I'm very excited to go back. I haven't been there for 2 years and I just love that place. So
Oh,
that's my next place.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh my gosh. So for the ones that cannot see, this woman is beautiful. She is stunningly beautiful and she has this gorgeous blouse on, this pink blouse. I mean, wow. I love it. And it's sometimes we choose to like, should I put the sweatpants on today? Well, how did they make you feel?
Yeah, exactly. They have a vibration. I would say I have never really bought into the sweatpants, look. Not even during Corona. I know a lot of people, they just love to just wear something nice. And underneath it was just like shorts or I don't know. Ever since I started really studying self-image and understanding that everything has a vibration, I'm like, no, it's not that, I can take time off and relax, but every day I study, I do a lot of things consciously in a certain way. So I cannot take away from that by, slacking off. I know maybe it sounds a little rough, but I'd rather slack off in other areas than that. That for me, it creates
Yeah.
my self-image, my awareness every day. That's not what I want.
Yeah. And it does. I
Yeah.
I love clothes.
Yeah.
See, we're already friends.
Yeah, we
I
are
love
for sure.
shopping. I love clothes. I work in a hair salon still. So
Okay.
just a few days a week. I've been a hairstylist for many, many years. And what I don't like about it is that I can't dress up
No. You
because
have
I'm
to have
afraid of,
the right clothes for doing the work. Yeah.
yes, I'm afraid of it's going to ruin my clothes. I'll get color on it.
Mhm.
Oh, so yeah. I mean,
So do you dress up when you're back home or how is it?
I'm like, I find an excuse. Let's go out and go dancing so we can get dressed up.
I love it.
Yeah, I love that. And I feel like it does. It does have a vibration.
Hmm. I would say I have really been, ever since I
Yeah.
finally understood that, yes, like when Bob says you're not your name, you are a creature that is unlimited potential. You can reshape yourself every day by your thinking, by your doing. I really started taking that very seriously, like the colors of, the pencils that I have, or, like right now I have a pencil that I bought in Dubai, because I'm like, every time I look at it, it has a vibration. It brings me right back to that vision that I had. So why don't, I help myself level up with the easy things, that I can have to look at, if it makes sense. Instead of just
Yeah.
buying a regular one, I want Burj Khalifa, Dubai.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's huge. I cannot, no, I can't use just a regular pen. I have my special pens too.
Yeah, right.
I actually bought some really blingy pens.
Yes, I have those too. I love them. But
And I
even
call
it makes you happy, right? It
it
makes you smile,
does.
and it sends out great energy. So that's your attraction point. So why not? Why not use it?
And I say that these are my magical pens.
Yeah,
And I say I use these for journaling, and everything that I write down comes into my life.
I like that.
Right?
Yeah. Manifestation pen.
It's yeah, yes. It's in your thinking,
Hmm.
your thoughts.
Yeah,
So
it really is.
wow. Gosh. Were there any times in your life that you experienced a lot of contrast? You know, the law of rhythm, we have the ups and
Hmm.
downs. Have you experienced a lot of that, or how do you get yourself out of that?
Yeah, I would say a majority of my life, I've been a victim of my own lack of priority. Like what you talked about being a chameleon. I thought it was, a skill to actually just always be able to fit in no matter what happened. I was always able to fit in and adjust, and
Mm.
in on all levels. But later I realized, when I'm fitting in with everybody, I'm not fitting in with myself, and that should be my priority number one. So yeah, for sure, I have been the biggest victim and blaming everybody and my circumstances, and maybe not verbalizing it, but internally I had this blame game and just hoping and wishing and, for something to change. But only, I would say, from massive studying and self-reflection and really working in depth with myself, I realized, like Bob says, you're the only problem and the only solution. I'm like, yeah, that's so true. And it's
Yes.
good, because if you're not, that would be a bigger problem. If you had somebody else to solve your issues, that's not good. So
Right?
yeah, I've had overcome a lot of development to be in the position where I'm at today. Even I feel that I have, still massive things, potential that I need to create and replace current thoughts and all of that. But I've come a
Mm.
long way. If you saw me 10 years ago, you'll be shocked.
Same. Same. I will
Yeah.
tell you that. So that's why I think, you're such an inspiration to people because you're like, wait, I haven't always been like this.
No,
It
not
took,
at all.
it took, it took time. It takes time. I just
Yeah.
had some huge awareness recently, and it was like, really? Just imagine. Because every time that we're doing this, every time that we are leveling up, and it's not just improving our lives, it's improving everyone else around us.
Yeah.
And they watch you and they're probably like, whoa, what have you done? So, tell us a few of your favorite books.
My favorite books, I would say The Power of Awareness, Neville Goddard. That's some of the, because the chapters are so short, but they are so powerful. You don't have to sit and read for hours. It's just read really one page and you're like, whoa. But you have to study it though. It's not really easy, accessible for a newbie. I don't know if that's recommendable for somebody not in personal development. Maybe it's a little bit too much.
I
uh,
completely agree.
yeah. Yeah, like I'm co-reading so many. I just recently started picking up this again, Think and Grow Rich. That I just talked
Yes.
about. I love it. What else?
It's like a Bible.
Feeling is the secret.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I
Yeah.
actually also like Esther Hicks, Ask and It Is Given.
Mhm,
It gave me some new ways of,
mhm.
dealing with the same topic from a different angle. Yeah.
I oh my gosh. I'm constantly now in the car. I have to like force myself to listen to music. I don't listen to music anymore because I want to just absorb. I just want to
Just get
keep
more
absorb.
information.
You too?
Yeah. I just, since I love going out and I don't do that very often, it's like when I hear music, I feel like, okay, I'm kind of going out, even I'm not. So it gives me a mood of, I have free time. So I listen to that when I work out or, do something
Mhm.
that I find not so inspirational. I increase my vibe with some music. Yeah.
Yes, that perfectly, perfectly well said.
Yeah.
Because music can raise your vibration.
Yeah.
So I even listen to like a lot of meditation or like the Hertz meditation like 963 or whatever
Mhm. Yeah.
432 for relaxation. I'll play it all night.
Yeah. That is really good. Balancing your vibe
Yeah.
when you're little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would so what advice would you give somebody that is like, but I'm really just not happy where I'm at? Like, is there just something that you can tell me to do every day or, what? I don't know. What would you say?
Maybe start writing down what you actually love to do
Yeah.
and, get out of the habit of just paying attention to everybody else's needs and seeing that as your purpose, pleasing everybody else, because I think that's what most women start doing. Like we have this nurture, you know, idea that we need to take care of everybody. So
Mhm.
eventually it doesn't bring us any happiness. And it's to overcome that idea that I'm too selfish when I prioritize myself. But it's the opposite. It's you have to do that because what you give
Mhm.
yourself, you can expect from other people. If you don't give it, you cannot receive it. So that alone changed something for me that I have to be the one loving myself the most. I have to be the one doing what I want to do. I cannot sit and wait for somebody to suggest it because they don't know what I want. So be
Right?
honest about what you want and just allow yourself to have it or do it.
Yeah. That's that's so good because raising children, we want to put them first. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, we're responsible for them, but I let myself go.
Hmm.
I love my kids more than anything. But and I'll tell you, I mean, I was like, "Oh, is it time for them to go to bed? Because I want to take a bath. I want to soak in the tub. I want to."
Yeah.
So I did do some things for myself.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But now I kind of changed that. And so I'm like, my morning routine, journaling and taking
Yeah.
some time, getting up slowly. I love that.
That is very important. I think a lot of women, they just get up and get going with the, domestic stuff and check the phone or
Right?
allow yourself that space to just really tap into your vibe and, create a great inner dialogue instead of start checking the to-do list or, start doing, yeah, laundry or whatever.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Yeah. No, it's like get up and like, ah, okay. Get up slowly. Set your alarm earlier
Yeah.
so that you can ease into the day. Do
Yeah.
you
Have
watch
coffee.
TV?
No, I don't. I haven't done for years. No. We even
Yeah.
laughed about it. I recently moved to a new apartment and one evening we wanted to have one of the YouTube videos with Napoleon Hill. We wanted to watch that on the TV screen. And we were like, we haven't even turned it on for 4 months. We don't even know if it's, connected to some Wi-Fi or something. It's just like, no. And, I don't listen to radio. And when sometimes I visit my mom's place and, I know her husband loves to listen to it, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I simply cannot be in the room with this. I have to turn it down if it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll leave the room. I cannot listen to the news about everything that goes on. It just goes against all the work and all the money and all the time that I put into develop myself to where I'm at today. So I'm really conscious about that. No, I'm limiting that very much.
Um, Same here. News is one thing that I will not
Yeah.
watch. And people are like, yeah, but how do you know what's going on? I'm like, oh, we know.
Yeah, we know.
We're
We
going
can
to
just
hear it.
watch everybody on the street, what they look like.
Yeah. And especially working in a hair salon.
Yeah, you will know.
I'm gonna know somehow that and just opening up Facebook. I can figure it all out. I
Mhm.
Yeah. What about the weather? I'm like, well, I have a weather app for that on my phone. I'm not gonna spend time listening.
No.
So I completely, and it used to be every day. I'd watch the
Yeah.
news every day, and it
Mhm.
really did affect me.
And multiple times, right? During the day even.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you get into that habit. For me, that was a paradigm. That was something that my parents did.
Yeah, that's
And
something that
so,
you do.
right, something that you do. So, have your children like have they have they changed their ideas on their futures, their future
Yeah.
because of where, yeah.
Yeah, they have. I would say I got divorced 1.5 years ago. So ever since I haven't had the daily contact the same way that I used to have, but we have greater conversations about these topics right now. My son turning 20, he wants to be an entrepreneur. He wants to create something for himself. I'm helping him about financial literacy. My daughter is asking what I'm doing. She sees that I get to travel much more and the fulfillment that I have compared to before where I worked in corporate and I was just drained every day. I guess I
Mhm.
worked the same hours, maybe less, but I was just drained because I had no satisfaction. It made no sense beside,
Mhm.
having my great paycheck. So they see the difference and they articulate it as well since now they are so grown up. They see the difference. So yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
Wow. That just My kids have changed,
Hmm.
and I think, well, I'm sure that it's because of what I have experienced. And of course, I wanted them to like see everything and read everything that I'm doing. And it's like
Yeah.
they're like, no, we don't want to do that.
No,
Do they?
you cannot force them, right? You can
You
inspire them
cannot.
to action. Yeah.
You cannot force them, but they do pick up on those
Yeah.
things for sure. They might not read the books
Hmm.
and do all of that. And then someday they'll pick something up and say, and you're like, I know, I've been
Yeah.
telling you.
Yeah. I recently saw some books in my son's room and I was like, wow, where did you get them? He's like, I just bought them on Amazon. I'm like, yay. Yeah.
Oh, I love
Oh, yeah,
that.
that's really good. So
S-
yeah, I mean, it goes back to they don't do what you tell them. They do, what you show them and what makes sense to them and seeing how
Mhm.
you become more calm and, more happy and able to pick up the phone, even that, as simple as that. I never picked up the phone before when I worked in corporate. There was no chance I had the time to pick up the phone, even how crazy it sounds, but that was just my reality. I didn't have time to pick up my phone, even when my kids called.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I'm creating a new life for them.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. So
Yeah.
you're taking a little vacation here soon.
Yeah.
Going to the beach or
Yeah. It's
yeah.
business and pleasure trip, I would say. I barely do anything without thinking about how I can expand as well because it's just in me. I love what I do and I'm excited to meet people. And even I have met people online that I'm like, hey, where do you live in Mexico, by the way? I'm coming. Let's meet.
Right? Yeah. I
Yeah, why
know
not?
exactly.
Yeah. So
Yes. So have you been to, okay, where would you love to go? Do you have like a list of places
yeah,
that
I
you
do
want
have.
to? Do you have a
Yeah,
vision
I would love
board?
to go. Yeah, I do have that. I would love to go to Bali or something similar, Maldives or something very, exotic, paradise-ish. That's my biggest thing right now because I love nature as well. I love that vibe with the water. And yeah, that's something that I want. And then I want to go back to Australia and New Zealand. I was there when I was very young backpacking, and it's not the same type of travel I want to do again, but I want to experience it as a grown up, with a different lifestyle, and revisit, and want to bring my kids as well for that. So that's kind of the two things that's on my mind.
Oh, I I have traveled so much with my children. Travel is on the top of my list,
Hmm.
and I'm still not finished for
No.
sure. Yes. You've been to the United States
Yeah, I've been many times. Yeah.
many times.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
I was in Orlando for the first time last year, and I really loved that. Um, but I'm working with a company who has headquarters in Houston. I've been there 3 times. It's okay. It's not really something very special. I like New
Mhm.
York. I've been to LA, Las Vegas. It's just a fun place. I love coming back because it's just so crazy that, I feel I feel very good because everything just seems possible. Like Dubai, it's the same vibe that, whatever happens, it just happens. And it's I mean, there's so many places that you have very different from Denmark. We don't have that many. Even you change, the area, it's still the same because we're such a small country. So it's not really
Mhm.
like very different. So
Yeah. What
yeah.
about health? Healthy. Do you
Mhm.
live around in a healthy environment where you
Yeah,
live?
yeah, I do. Yeah. In all means, I would say, physically and mentally as well. I have changed a lot in my environment when it comes to my relationships. I have really been replacing massively. Um, so I only have a very small inner circle left.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Yeah,
Hmm.
I love being in nature too and being by the water.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
need, yes, I need to be the water in nature is just so calming
Yeah.
if people only knew.
That's
Oh
for
my
sure. On
goodness.
my vision board, I have a house nearby the water. I want that. And yeah.
Okay.
In the process of manifesting.
Yes. Bringing
Yeah.
where is this house, or is it in a particular place or
Yeah, there's two places actually. I have a place in Spain that I love, and then I have a place in Miami Beach that I would love to have as well. Yeah, I have been there,
oh
also, which I love.
yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It's
I
just, yeah, great.
So for somebody that doesn't understand or is new to like manifestation,
Mhm.
they're like, "What? So you just cut a picture out and it gets handed to you?"
That's how I thought in the beginning, and it didn't work. I want this, I want this, I want this.
Yes.
It's not working. No, you really have to become it. You have
Yeah.
to become that person, and it's really as a process. I would say, as like I said with my ladies in my group the other day, the hardest work is the spiritual work. It's
Mhm.
not the labor work. When you finally become that person spiritually, what needs to be done physically is not a lot, but it's the mental, it's the spiritual development that requires the most work. And
Mhm.
it's not hard work, it's just different work.
It is very different.
Yeah.
It's very different, especially when you're used to working so hard.
Yeah, it is. It's getting out of all those paradigms, that keeps you in bondage of how you can develop yourself. But when you have reached a new level of awareness and you have really a new belief who you are and what you can do, the doing is the least part.
Yeah.
The being is the hardest part.
I know. I'm like, sometimes it takes a while, a
Hmm.
while
Yeah.
to get there. And
Hmm.
then once you get there, everything that you need to do in the masculine energy,
Hmm.
it just comes so much faster. I
Yeah.
was Yesterday I was so focused. I got like everything done in one day. It was right? So you work on getting there
Hmm.
in the spiritual, waiting. It's the waiting place, right?
Yeah.
But we're always in the waiting place, aren't we?
yeah, it's something that we are never there, because when we are there, we want to go to the next there. There's
Mhm.
always a new layer, you know. So it's always about being just grateful for what you have, but still hungry to move on, because you know there's more. There's always more.
Always, always. And, and when we say more, it's not just about, because I went into Bob's program, I need money.
Yeah.
I was like, I just need more money. And then you're like, oh, I get it. That was a huge wake up call for me.
Yeah, it was for me too.
I didn't see it coming.
No. I just watched all the pictures. It seems like everybody joining the programs, 6, 12, 18 months later, they were just in a total different life. And I was like, what is going on with these programs? I need to join. But it
Right?
doesn't happen for everybody, because it's not about what you know. You know, if it was just about how much we know, everybody would succeed to
Mhm.
a massive, extent. But it's what you do with the knowing, who you become with the knowing. That's the
Yeah.
hardest part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happens is that when you look back on some of the things that happened in your life, like the things that you were trying to manifest on your vision board or
Mhm.
whatever, you'll look and you're like, oh my gosh, it happened.
Yeah.
And then, so I took a journey the other day in my mind backwards,
Hmm.
like reverse. And I was like, oh, because how did this happen?
Hmm.
It just didn't fall in our lap. It
No.
took, and I'm going to tell you something. You're going to love this, Marianne. So this was like in December, I believe. I was like, I got to get out. I got to get out and go do something. I need to go dancing.
Hmm.
Right? When you're just feeling like nothing's happening. So I
Hmm.
need to go do something different. Go do something. So I got all dressed up and I know this band that plays. So I went and danced. I had the best time. And well, it started with that. It started with just my intuition of I need to get out tonight.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then I was there and I was like, I need to go talk to this lady. I don't know why. I don't know. I need to introduce myself. It was that attraction. It was the energy that I felt.
Yeah.
And this has led to a huge manifestation.
Wow.
So if I didn't go out that night, if I
Hmm.
didn't listen to my intuition and go out
Yeah.
dancing, sounds silly, as silly as this may sound. If I didn't go out and do that, I would not have met that person,
Hmm.
which introduced us to another person and the next. And it's,
But that's how it happens. It's just
oh,
leaning into it, following your sixth sense, your intuition, your next level lady talking
yeah,
to you. Yeah.
yeah. So level up.
Hmm.
What is that?
That is a global online community of women who wants to level up, whatever that means to them. It's not always about the money, but I guess for most, women, it is also about that. But it can be leveling up your awareness, leveling up, the look that you have, your relationship, your spirituality. Just we talk about different topics. So it started like just a small group. I just wanted, like you said, I had this idea. I need to create a group. So I started doing weekly sessions, and I just kept going. And so, like just 2 hours ago, I had a session. We had ladies from New Zealand, UK, US, Denmark, Sweden, just all over the place. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy because I
Oh,
just do it for free. It's just my way of giving back, my learnings. I reiterate, books that I have read, or just things that I can see that I can help other women to level up. And we have discussions, they ask me questions, and I just really enjoy it. I really enjoy it.
wow. That is awesome. So
Yeah.
you started that.
Yeah, I did, with no, idea really behind. I just felt like I need to do this. And I was like, no, I'm not ready. I don't know. What should I do with this group? But now we're almost 800 women in that group. So it's like
That's
something happened.
800?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh
So
my
I'm
gosh.
happy about that, because it's different ladies, tuning in from Australia. It was like 4 a.m. in the morning. From Europe, it was night, Friday night. From some other, it was afternoon. So I really appreciate them tuning in, and they're very honest. A lot of them share things they have never shared with anybody. So I'm always, very grateful for them showing me this trust, and the other ladies as well. So we always like whatever happens, stays in this group. We need
Yeah.
to back each other up, and there's no negativity, no nagging or backstabbing, or it's just positive uplifting.
Yeah.
Whoever's not there out immediately. Yeah.
And to be around like-minded people and just think about what you're doing for the collective consciousness. I
Yeah.
mean, what you are doing for others is what's the funny thing is we we do a lot of things for free. We give a lot, but it always comes back to you.
Yeah, it does. It really does. It
And
really does.
and when you least expect it. And
Yeah, I have
it's
a lot of people asking me, so why don't you really charge for this? I'm like, but no, it's not the purpose to make money from it. It's an energy exchange. And I want to know really what's going on in women's mind, because of course I have ideas of things that, like the podcast or something else, or that I'm thinking of doing at some point, but I want to know more in details what it is that's going on in women's mind. What are the limitations that we have? What are the really real life situation? So I know what's going on instead of thinking at my desk. I know what's going on when I'm not. So
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it feeds me with ideas.
that is so awesome. Thank you so much for doing that and continue encouraging others. And, you know, is there anything that you want to share with the people listening? Um, any last final comments?
I just want to say that you can really do and have everything that you desire. And when I heard the first time, I was like, yeah, you can say that because you are this special, whatever. But no,
Mhm.
everybody have the same potential. It's just a decision that you have to make, that you are worth it, you deserve it. And whatever idea comes to your mind, it's because you are supposed to achieve that. So don't wait for anybody to give you permission or better timing or your kids to grow up, or, it's always about the excuses. You can't have excuses and results at the same time. So go for it, whatever that it is for you.
Okay, very well said. Very, very, very well said. I totally agree. And I'm going to tell you, I did not start on this journey until I was 50.
Hmm.
So it's never too late and
No, it's not.
quit making excuses because there is a beautiful life out there waiting for you. And that was like Unleash Her that came to me. And but I didn't step into that. This was given to me last year.
Hmm.
And, but I wasn't her.
Hmm.
And it takes time and you have
It
to be
does.
patient.
Yeah. But take one step at a time. Yeah.
Yes. So how can people find you on
I'm on Instagram and Facebook with my name. So if it's not so easy to spell, maybe, but if you get it right, there's only one me.
So how do you spell it?
My first name, Marianne, and then Schutze. So it's the German
Okay.
last name. Yeah.
Okay.
I have had
Perfect.
multiple copies, out there. I guess you have had as well. So fake profiles, they're all over the place. But yeah, I only have one profile on Facebook and one on Instagram.
Can I tell you real quick? Oh, someone did this. Okay. Somebody used my picture on a dating app.
Oh, wow.
This guy's like, "Oh, I know you." I go, you do?" He's like, "Yeah, I saw you on blah blah blah." And I'm like, no, not on there."
No, that's not me.
He's like, "Yep, it's your picture." I go, "What?" You should meet
Yeah.
the person and see what they look like
Yeah.
in person.
So it's really always to, look out for yourself. And if people connect with me,
Yes.
I will never ask you to transfer me anything. I'm just, always about the giving. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just be
Awesome.
careful. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It
Yes,
was
absolutely.
such a pleasure having you on and getting to know you a little better. I love this. And I'm sure that you guys have feel this. You can feel her energy. And I hope that you feel empowered from today. And also, if you would like to know more about my VIP coaching, please reach out and let's just have a chat. And until next time, I love to leave this with instead of saying goodbye, my grandma would never say goodbye. And so she would always say, so long.